Hi, this is Dan from Paracord. I've had a lot of interest in my double Cobra Weave shotgun slings lately, and I wanted to make a pretty detailed video of how to make these things. And I've had some comments on some of my other shotgun sling videos where they had some questions about length and different things like that. So I'm going to try and be as detailed as possible on making one of these things. Today I'm going to make one with woodland camo and OD green, and I have a pair here of Uncle Mike's shotgun sling swivels. These could also be used on a rifle as well, whatever has those studs that will work with these. So what I do on length usually is I have this sewing measuring tape here, and usually I measure it out based on how many lengths of this tape, especially when I'm doing a big project like this. And so on the shotgun sling, your center color is going to be longer than your outside colors, and I'll explain that in a minute. So I'm going to go with OD green as my inside color, and what I have is I'm going to make 8 lengths, and this will make a 40-inch shotgun sling. All right, so and you end up with a little extra, so this could be possibly up to 41, 42 inches. If you want to make it longer than that, well, then you just adjust what you're doing here. So what I do is I stretch out this, and I do it eight times. All right, so I'll get to the end, and I'll stop right here, and then I'll just start another length, and I'll do this 8 times, and it comes out to about 42 feet worth of cord. Okay, I have my 42 feet here, or 8 lengths of the measuring tape. Okay, now for and that's the inside color. Okay, that's the inside strand. All right, now I'm going to go with the woodland camo here, and these are going to be, you're going to make 2 of these. This is going to be the outside strands, and these are going to be 5 lengths of the measuring tape, or approximately 26 feet. Okay, so 26 feet, 2 of them. All right, so again, just stretch it out, and I'm going to do this 5 lengths, and that comes out to about 26 feet. Now I got my 2 pieces of woodland camo cut, each 26 feet, and then my center piece, my center cord of, what did I say, 42 feet, or 8 lengths of a standard 60-inch measuring tape. But with the measuring tape, you got this extra, approximately 2 inches here on the end, so that's where you come up with the extra. So again, 8 lengths of this, 5 lengths of 2 of these. Now we're going to start weaving. Alright, now we're here actually about 6 feet up on a wall. I got a little hook here where you can hang the sling swivel, and it's good to have some length to the ground so your cord doesn't get all tangled up, and you can kind of stretch it out pretty good. So I'm going to start with the OD green in the middle, and what you're going to do is you're going to half this. Okay, you're going to fold it or bend it exactly in half. All right, and then you're going to do just I believe it's called a cow hitch. You're just going to put the loop through, put it through from the front to the back, and then you're just going to loop these 2 strands through. Alright, and there's your centerpiece, and you want to pull that nice and tight. Alright, next we're going to go to the woodland camo. Now the woodland camo, the outside pieces are a little bit different on length, and this is why you actually make them shorter. But what you do is, since this sling is going to be 40 inches long, you want to measure out. All right, you get your handy dandy measuring tape again. You want to measure out, I go with 84 inches. Alright, you want to measure out 84 inches. Okay, go to the 60, hold your spot, then measure out another 24 inches. Alright, so about right here at 24, after you've measured the 60, and you're going to fold it over right there. Alright, so you should have a short end that's approximately 84 inches, and then the rest of it is going to be on the long side. Now, you're going to take one of these, alright, and the short side, the 84-inch side, needs to be in the middle, or towards the middle, and you're going to loop it over just like you did the middle piece. Alright, so remember, the short side is to the middle. Okay, short side's going through. That's towards the middle. Alright, and then tighten that up. But this one you're not going to put real tight because we're going to do something in a minute. Alright, now on this one, okay, same thing. Alright, you got it folded at 84 inches. And you got the short side to the middle. Short side to the middle. And do the same thing. Alright, now we have our three different strands attached, and it should look like so. Alright, now we're going to attach the other end, and if you don't do this, you won't have this end secured very well. If you just start weaving at this point and then try and attach this at the end, it's not going to be as secure. So you take these two shorter 84-inch strands that are the inside of the woodland camo, and you go down to the end, okay, and they should be approximately the same length, and you're going to tuck from the back to the front of the swivel. Alright, so your two inside woodland strands are going to come and fold to the front, and then you're going to tuck it in to the front of each of these. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Alright, so now make sure that you establish your left and right side. Okay, here's my left side, and what you're going to do is you're going to pull this knot out a little bit. Alright, and you're going to tuck this piece in and pull it through about an inch, and then pull it down tight. Alright, and that's going to hold your swivel on the other end. Alright, same thing with this side. Alright, we're going to pull this out a little bit. We're going to tuck this underneath, pull it through about an inch, and then tighten it down. And if you get a nice strong hook in the wall, you can pull pretty tight and make sure those get nice and secure in there. Alright, so there, your preliminary stuff is all set up. You got the sling swivel attached down here at the bottom, and you're ready to weave. Alright, so what you're going to start with, okay, you need to set aside your two long outside woodland camo pieces, or whatever color you prefer to use. These two strands here are going to be the inside, or what you tie around. Alright, so we're going to take the OD green and put it across the two pieces here, and then you're just going to do a standard cobra knot. And again, it's very helpful to be higher up so you don't get tangled as much. Alright, there's our first knot. Okay, now with the OD green back across the front, you're going to loop the woodland over, behind, and through the hole. Just your standard cobra knot. Alright, and push that up tight. Alright, now that side's done. You're going to go to the other side. Same thing. Okay, OD green over the front, over, behind, through the hole. Tie it up tight. Okay, back the other way, OD green over, over, behind, through the hole. Alright, now this is the important part, and you got to make sure if you want the back side to look as good as the front side, you got to do this every time. So now once you've done one on the left, or sorry, one on the right and one on the left, you're going to take this strand that you just finished up with and you're going to pull it across the next two. Alright, so you'll actually use this strand 2 times in a row. You'll use it here and then you'll use it again on the right side. And you'll do your standard cobra knot. Okay, now you're going to go back to your first OD green, and it should be back behind, and you're going to pull that to the front, and then you're going to do your cobra knot on this side. Okay, so left side, once you get that one done, OD green is going to go across the front, and you have to do that every single time because then the back will actually look pretty cool and it won't look all inconsistent. Alright, now one last time, this piece that's hanging in the back, pull that to the front, put it over top, do your cobra knot. Alright, so now I'm going to continue weaving all the way down. It takes, if you sit and do it the whole time, it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get all the way down to the end of the 40 inches. And now one thing that I've done is this ends up all the way to the end, ends up being about 42 inches, and then you have some room down at the end, and then what you'll do to cinch it up is you'll pull these, and I'll put that on video as well. You pull these and then it tightens it up, so you don't have to be down at the end, you know, trying to weave in between little holes and things like that. And I'll show you once I get down there. Alright, I'm down here at the end, and for some reason it always happens, one side always is left a little longer than the other where I hooked it onto the swivel. So if you have that happen, don't worry about it. It's normal. It happens to every single one I do. But notice I've left a little bit of room in here, so when you're doing your last few weaves, you really don't have to, squeeze in there real good. And now what we'll do is these strands that are hanging out the top here, we're going to attach those to a vise. And I'm going to crank them down in the vise, and then you'll pull, and you'll pull this end up tight. So now let's go to the vise. Alright, here we are at the vise. And now what I'll do is I'll just stick one of these ends in here, tighten it down real good, and then I just start pulling and sliding it down. It's not going to pull straight through right off the bat. You kind of got to work it. I'm doing that short section first, and as you start pulling, these little pieces will get tighter. Alright, see if I can get that on here. Alright, so that one's good right there. Now we're going to move over to the next one. And you don't necessarily have to use a vise. Anything that'll be pretty stationary, attach it to a hook on the wall. Make sure you put the hook into a stud. Okay, now again, I'm just gradually pulling it through, and it'll eventually tighten up. And the more you pull, the easier it gets. Alright. So now I got both of them nice and tight. These two spots right here, pull them up tight to where that's nice and secure. Now what we're going to do is finish this thing off, and if you notice, this is about the excess I have. It's probably about, between a 10 inches and a foot left. So you're going to trim that off, probably about 6 inches or so. And then with using those measurements, this is all the excess that you have, so not very much at all. Alright, so now we're just going to do a little bit of tucking and melting. Alright, you're just going to pass these through here. Alright, and just wrap those around, and these will also help in securing that swivel. But the main two pieces that secure it in are those two that you loop around at the beginning. Alright, so we got those four in. Okay, you got your forceps. If you're going to do any kind of paracording, these things are very needed. Alright, so usually I go about 3 loops down and tuck it through. And then you'll take the two sides on the right, obviously, and you can try and do, sometimes it works where you can get both of them through there at the same time. Let's see if I can do it. Alright, got it. Alright, and you just pull those down tight. Okay, now on to the other side. About 3 loops down. And depending on how tight you weave this, it will either be easier or harder. But probably starting out, if you're just starting, you won't have it as tight. Alright, I'm going to try both of them again. Oh, didn't do it. One at a time. Alright. Okay, those are all nice and pulled through. 3 loops down. Alright, then I'm going to cut it off. Leave about maybe 1/4 inch or so. Alright, now you're going to get your lighter, and I melt down 2 of them at a time. Get them good and melted. Try not to let this stuff drip on you. And then I just push it down, and there it's nice and smooth. Go to the other side. Try not to melt everything around it. There you go. Alright, so that's on there nice and secure. Alright, now to the other side. Okay, you just got 2 strands here. Again, tuck these through. Alright, your forceps. About 3 loops down. Pull those tight. Chop them off about 1/4 inch. And I usually try and, bend them over a little bit so I don't melt the other stuff. Alright, and there's those 2. Alright, and that's it. You're done. This is a 40-inch shotgun rifle sling. And then, like I said before, if you notice on the back, we got a pretty cool little pattern going down the middle. And that's what you want. If you do it consistent the same way, like I said at the beginning, then you'll have it look like this on the back. And then there's the top. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope that helps. And talk to you later.